Do you know, it was a weird one. So when you invited me onto the show, I thought, Manx Radio, I thought, what can I play? And it just, something came in my mind, and it brought me back to when Paul Moran used to do a dance show on a Friday night.
Yes, yeah.
And I just thought of a load of tracks I used to always, ask him to play. And that was them. So, and he did, he played them because they were, some real big, awesome tracks at the time.
So this would have been sort of when you were a teenager. So you're talking like early, mid-90s.
Yeah.
You're listening to Paul. Yeah.
I know the last track's a bit later than that. It was like 98. But the rest of I think that just fitted after the Baby D. So, yeah. Track-wise, Corona, Rhythm of the Night first. Then we had Motivate, Rockin' For Myself, JX, You Belong To Me. John of the Pleased Women, Passion. After that, Baby D, Let Me Be Your Fancy, as we mentioned there. And Rough Drivers presents A Roller and Dreamin' to finish us off.
Cool. So, with your gigs that you put on, we have mentioned, and I'm going to say it again, because I actually think, this whole concept of a whole night that is a 90s night. 'Cause you did the 80s, didn't you, last year? The 80s night gig.
Yeah, with the I did the lasers for the Lido gig.
Yes.
It was that was a great night that Roy put on with RS Promotions. That was awesome. But
So,
is you're saying, is there a market for a pure 90s?
Yes, is there? Well, it's our era, so I think there's enough of us around.
There definitely is. Yeah.
I'm going to keep poking you till you say yes and give us a date. But you have got another date and another gig coming up.
Yeah, so we mentioned the 26th, the Nightlife Takeover one, so that's all done and dusted with chatting about that one. We've got another date in the courthouse on the 31st of July now. It's one I can't personally attend, so I offered that out to one of our other guys, and we had a chat about what sort of concept we could do with that one. And over the first lockdown, we, between a load of us, come up with a sort of concept called the Mixtape. Mm-hmm. So we have a Facebook group called the Mixtape Isle of Man. We've got it on YouTube and Twitch as well. So it's a collective of local DJs, some proper old school DJs, like the likes of Neil Cowie and Neil Clegg, the godfather of Manx House. There's some of the newer school DJs like DJ Old School on there. We've got Mo Beats. He plays some great drum and bass tracks. There's just all sorts of people on there, and anyone that wants to join that, and put some input into it, then they can do. So we thought, that date's there. Let's get a load of them guys together and see if we can come up with a sort of concept of a night that brings them into one building, and that's going to be the night. So that's going to be the 31st of July, and we've got the date, and we've got the name, but we haven't got anything else sorted yet. So the lineup will be announced in due course. But let's get the 26th out of the way first, and then we'll move on to that.
I think that's actually a really nice idea that as DJs, obviously you are competitors in the market. You are all trying to get those gigs at the weekend. But we have quite a few DJs that pop up on the show, and you actually all get on and you have a good relationship.
It never used to be like that. If we go back to the late 90s, where I started with a colleague doing gigs in the cave, we used to put posters up for our nights and some of the other nights around. And I know, I don't know if Neil
take them down.
I don't know if Mr. Cowie will ever admit this, or if it was one of his crew, but they used to do a night in Jimmy B's with a full mental, was it Full Mental Racket they used to call it? But they used to put on nights, around the similar dates. So we'd put our posters up, and then their posters would appear, and our posters would disappear. So I've never asked them on that one, but I'm sure we'll have a chat about that.
Maybe we should get you on air, head to head, sometime.
But there was other ones. There was the Life Nights at the Villa Marina. Again, whoever was doing posters, the posters would disappear and posters would appear, and it just seemed like real bad blood. But eventually, when all these DJs get together, we're all happy as Larry, chatting about what we do best. So we're all friends. There's no bad blood about the past, and we all get on. And that's where the mixtape's been really good. We have a Facebook chat group, and we all chat amongst ourselves, and that kept us busy during lockdown as well. We were doing live streams and all sorts online. It was really good, and some of the guys are still to this day doing their weekly thing on there too.
So let's just give another last mention to the gig on the 26th of June. I think I mentioned May in the last hour. I'm totally behind. I don't even know what year it is.
It takes about 26 days to get used to what month you're in. Yes.
So when we're on the 26th of June, you've got your gig at the courthouse, and it's all for Craig's Heartstrong Foundation.
Yeah, all the proceeds goes to Craig's Heartstrong Foundation. If you need to know more about them, it's craigsheartstrongfoundation.co.uk for their website, so you can keep up to date there. But the event is the Nightlife Takeover. We can't take over Nightlife, but they're going to take over us. And we've got some original nightlife DJs. We have Derek Liney Jr., we've got Hoff and Pippi. They're going to be battling it out between the three of them all night. And we're asking everyone that was a big nightlife regular, bar staff, anyone that had anything to do with nightlife, come down and see us, and it will be a great night, just seeing everyone, and as well, the Ramsey lot showing the Douglas lot, how to party.
And you're asking for Ramsey to empty out and sort of like descend onto Douglas.
It's allowed. It's all
yes,
fair
it
competition.
Is. Yes.
Yeah. If Ramsey want to put something on in retaliation, they can do.
Just not on the 26th.
Just not on the 26th. It's for a good cause. So
the
I'm sure
following weekend will be fine.
Yeah, they can give us that. We want to raise some, lots of money for charity, like you would.
And it's a local Manx charity as well, and it's a great cause. And I've just had a text in here. I'm not 100% sure from the phone number whether it is Mr. Cowie or not, but the text just says no comment.
Well, do you know what? We genuinely, and if that is Mr. Cowie, I'll know by the number if I have a look.
You can have a look in a minute.
Yeah, we never did. We thought, well, we're not gonna fall to their level. But it was all fair competition back in the day, and there was a lot of people out, and both gigs were busy, so we didn't really need to do those things, Mr. Cowie.
Okay, well, I do know you're actually friends because he was up on the show last week, and he was actually we were pushing your event.
Oh, we live in the same street. He's about 7 or 8 doors down. He pops past in the morning on his bike, and we have a chat. And sometimes I can hear if he had a birthday gig, I think it was, in his back garden, and the whole of our neighbourhood could hear it. So I was texting him saying, "Is that you playing that music?" And he's like, "Oh, sorry, yeah."
It's waking the kids up. Turn it down.
I thought it was coming from the nunnery because the sound was just bouncing around all the houses. I couldn't tell where it was coming from, but then he eventually said, "Yeah, that's me. Sorry."
Okay, well, thanks for coming in this evening, Ricky. Good luck with the event on the 26th. Fingers crossed that you raise loads of money for Craig's Heartstrong Foundation, and you'll have to come back on the show, hopefully before the next gig at the end of July.
Yeah, I'll be back on as much as you want me to. I'll try and tally up as much as Neil's been on. Can I just give it a quick shout before I go to
sure.
Ollie Lloyd? He's at the courthouse tonight. They're open from 8. So he's I was going to be doing tonight, but I need a rest.
You're getting old.
I'm getting old.
We were talking about this before. A week on, a week off is kind of where we're at now.
It is for me, but Neil seems to he can do 2 nights every weekend. I can't keep up. It's like Hendo and Dan Armstrong. Sometimes Hendo does 3 or 4 nights in a row. I don't know how they do it. But saying that, when I was much younger, I probably would have given it a good go. I did do 2 or 3 nights now and again, but not every week. So fair play to the lads.